Friday, 3rd of February, and this is from the South. Mexico's President Enrique Peña Nieto vowed to act, quote, in defense of Mexico's sovereignty and the interests of Mexicans in any trade negotiations with the United States. Nieto made the statement during a speech at the National Agricultural Council event on Thursday. Nieto also highlighted Mexico's importance to the U.S. market by pointing out that more than 200 million avocados had been exported to the U.S. for the Super Bowl on February 5th. The president of Ecuador, Rafael Correa, has warned the country of the beginning of a smear campaign against the government. The campaign is said to be organized and led by former fugitive bankers and former officials prosecuted for corruption, who are now based in Miami. Correa released emails earlier today where the country's former oil minister admits to being involved in a corruption scandal involving the state oil firm. Bolivia opened a $7 million museum dedicated to President Evo Morales and indigenous peoples on Thursday. The museum is located in Morales' birthplace of Orinoco. Morales ordered the museum to be built by decree shortly after he became Bolivia's first indigenous president in 2006. The museum holds hundreds of Morales' gifts as well as photos, videos, and archaeological treasures. Freed Colombian politician Odean Sanchez celebrated with his friends and family upon his arrival home. Sanchez was held captive for almost 10 months by Colombia's second biggest rebel group, the ELN. He urged the rebel group to put a stop to the war tactics and criticized the strategy used by his hostage takers as inconsistent with the objective of peace. As Chile reels from the worst wildfires in its modern history, the world's largest firefighting helicopter arrived on Thursday to help. The wildfires are ravaging wide swaths of the country's central-south regions. The helicopter is able to carry 10,000 liters of water at a time and reload in 45 seconds from any available water source. A police convoy carrying drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman arrived early this morning at a federal court in Brooklyn. Ahead of his trial, Guzman attorneys argued that he is being held in conditions that are, quote, too restrictive. Guzman faces charges of running a massive drug smuggling operation during a decades-long criminal career that included the murder of rivals, money laundering, and weapons offenses. Hundreds marched through Melbourne, Australia to demonstrate against U.S. President Donald Trump's controversial travel ban on 7 Muslim-majority countries. The demonstration came just one day after reports emerged claiming Trump had turned the U.S.-Australian refugee agreement the worst deal ever, on a phone call with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. In Malaysia, hundreds of protesters gathered outside the U.S. Embassy in the capital to protest Trump's executive order against Muslims. Malaysia is not affected directly by the executive order, but many fear that the ban could be expanded to include the Muslim-majority nation in the future. A Spanish NGO rescued more than 200 refugees in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Libya. The refugees were cramped on top of a small dinghy and a wooden boat. In a meeting in Malta, EU leaders endorsed new steps to stem immigration from Africa, including more funding for Libya's UN-backed government and aid agencies operating there. The United States Navy has sent a Navy destroyer off the coast of Yemen amid tensions with Iran. According to U.S. officials, the USS Cole's purpose is to protect waterways from Houthi rebels and to carry out patrols, including escorting vessels. Earlier this week, the armed Houthi movement attacked a Saudi warship off the western coast of Yemen, where 2 crew members were killed by an explosion. The world's largest carnival parade is just a few weeks away from taking place in Brazil. Therefore, many of Rio de Janeiro's samba schools are scurrying to put the finishing touches to their floats and elaborate costumes they hope will win them the ultimate championship title. One school will be taking its dancers and carnival goers on a journey through the Arab world. More on these and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.